everybody, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Kristen, and I'm the moderator for today's webinar. Looks like our topic today, StoredIQ for Legal, is a really hot topic. The webinar is definitely filling up with a lot of attendees, and I know our presenter, Linda, is really excited to chat with you guys about StoredIQ for Legal. But before I let her proceed, I do have a few quick housekeeping notes to cover with you guys. First, if you're new here, Integro does monthly webinars that are 30 minutes long every third Thursday around 1 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest in information governance, definitely attend those. Next, if you want to maximize your screen in the upper right-hand corner, feel free to do so. It gives you the best seat in the house. And last, we do have questions, or you can ask questions at any time during the presentation, and we'll answer all of those at the end. Oh, two more things actually. We also have handouts in the sidebar. There's 2 handouts there on StoredIQ for Legal if you want to download those and save them for later reading after the presentation. And we do have a survey at the end of this webinar that you can answer and give us your feedback on how you think Linda did. So without any further ado, I will give the reins on over to Linda Cornelio, who is our StoredIQ for Legal expert here at Integro. Linda?
Thank you, Kristen, and welcome everyone. I'm glad to be here today presenting a short presentation on StoredIQ for Legal. I do have a few slides at the very beginning, and then we will move right into a live demo. I want to start off by just letting you know a little bit about who Integro is. Integro is an IBM business partner and has been one for many years. Our focus is helping enterprises secure, govern, and leverage information assets and liabilities. As you can see here, we do that in 3 areas: content security and protection, information governance, and content management. We're here today to discuss the StoredIQ platform specifically, and this is a solution component in the information governance area comprising of risk reduction, defensible disposal, e-discovery readiness, and compliance. Before we dive into the demo, I just wanted to highlight several benefits of StoredIQ for Legal. This slide is presenting benefits specific to the legal team. As you can see here, one of the benefits is to deliver a repeatable and defensible e-discovery process. Secondly, StoredIQ for Legal helps streamline and automate the process by providing an easy-to-use automated way to send and to track custodian notices and interviews, alleviating the need for manual spreadsheets used by many companies today. Secondly, it provides the same easy-to-use automated way to communicate data collection and preservation needs to your IT team. IT responses and gathering activities can also be tracked right from within a matter. I'll be showing these features in the demonstration in just a few minutes. Secondly, let's talk about the benefits for the IT team. Once a notice is received from legal, the IT team can take advantage of the powerful search features of StoredIQ to find the requested data and take the necessary action on it. When finished, IT replies to the notice sent from legal, letting them know the request is complete and giving legal the ability to review and identify data right from within the matter. Here's a teaser slide letting you see what the legal dashboard looks like. This is actually from within the application, and it's showing the legal dashboard that displays matter information in a clear and concise interface to maximize efficiency and productivity of the legal team. So I'm going to go ahead now and leave the slide deck for just a moment and actually bring up the StoredIQ for Legal interface. And as you can see, similar to what you were seeing in the screenshot, that was the teaser. This happens to be the real application. What you're looking at here on the matter dashboard is a list of open matters. To create a new matter, you would just simply click the New button and fill in some information specific about the matter. Give it a name and an ID. Those two fields are required. Provide a category and description if you wish. Associate the appropriate attorney, paralegal, and data ops person. I'm going to stop here for a minute. A data ops person is your contact in IT who would be responsible for identifying the data that the legal team is asking for. And then you can add attachments to the matter if you so choose. Attachments may be court documents that are associated with the matter, as an example. I'm not going to actually create the matter right now. I have one pre-created here for us, and you can see the matter's named Adrian Plaintiff versus ABC Company. If we click the matter name, we are drilling into the matter itself, where we have the ability to create and send out our notices to the custodians, letting them know of their obligation. We can also create interviews that would also be sent to custodians, and those interview questions are going to be about matter and data that might be relevant. And then we have the ability to create the notice to the IT team, and that notice is referred to through StoredIQ for Legal as a data box. We'll go through each one of those 3 steps in StoredIQ for Legal. So let's start with notices. Again, very simple interface here. If you want to create a notice, you simply click the New Notice button. You give the notice a name, and you provide a description for it. So I'm just going to quickly give it a name. There we go, and simply click Create. The reason I'm showing this from the beginning is because a nice concept is displayed right here from the beginning. Remember, we said earlier that we wanted to provide a consistent way a consistent process and method for working with all of our matters. And so right away your notice can be created from a template stored within StoredIQ for Legal, which then keeps the message content consistent across notices. So I only have one template available right now, so I'm going to select that template. A template is created with rules and content. Let's address rules first. The top part of the rules pane has to do with confirmation of the notice. Does the notice you're sending to the custodians require them to confirm? And the confirmation would be that they understood their obligation to keep data. So in this case, the template has confirmation selected. If the custodian needs to confirm, how frequently to remind them that they need to confirm if they do not confirm with the receipt of the first notice. So you can see here we can set up a frequency, days, weeks, months, or years, and we can also set up a repeat interval. So would we like to repeat 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times? If the custodian does not respond the first time, we'll say 2 times. If the custodian does not respond after the second time, notice that we allow escalation to occur, and the escalation would be to the manager. The second half of this pane has to do with a reminder notice. In many situations, the matter extends over a long period of time, and in many cases, we would like to remind the custodian over this long period of time that they still have the obligation to keep their data. So what this check mark is saying is that we do want to send out reminders, and again, the frequency that we want to send them out, and does the reminder need confirmation and follow-up? I'm going to deselect the confirmation and follow-up for this example. Once the rules are set up appropriately, we can click on the contents, and you can see that this is where you provide the email subject that the user sees when they get the notice, and then the body of the email that the user or the custodian will see once the email is sent to them. All this information is coming from the template, and we do have a highlighted area here where the paralegal or the attorney can add specifics, matter-specific information to the template information that was in this notice. So for today, I might add something like information we want them to hold might be found in their email. It might be found on their file shares, and it might be found in SharePoint. Okay, I'm going to copy that because you'll see that there is also information supplied for the follow-up notice. If the custodian does not respond the first time, remember we're going to send them a follow-up notice. And here is again the text that came from the template, and this will be sent to the custodian as follow-up data. So I'm going to put that same information in the follow-up notice regarding what data we would like them to hold. And the same is true for the reminder notice. This is what they're going to get as a reminder every so often during the long duration of the matter. So all three of these notices become part of one item in your matter, making it very convenient to keep track of what notices are going out to the custodians and when they will be sent. Once the notice message is set up, clicking the custodians link gives us the ability to add specific custodians to the notice. Basically what you're seeing here is I'm identifying the recipients of the notice. So we'll indicate Michelle Grassi, Jade Green, and Ferris Burt are going to be custodians in this particular matter. Review the selection gives me the opportunity to make sure that the email addresses are as expected. I can provide a reason for why they are being added as custodians to the matter. And that's it. That is creating a notice from within the matter with a template. Clicking the Publish button actually sends that notice to the custodians. All right, so it takes a while for notices to be sent. StoredIQ for Legal has a scheduled interval of when it sends out its notices. So to speed things along, prior to our webinar here, I already created a notice and sent it to that same set of custodians, and I know this message has been sent. So let's go to the mailbox of Michelle Grassi so you can see from a custodian's perspective what that initial hold notice or notice message looks like. So you can see right from within their Outlook, in this case the Outlook mail file, they receive an email with the subject line of the notice and then the content of the information that came from the notice, and the ability to click a link so that they can respond that they understand their obligation. Now I'm going to come back here and log out as StoredIQ for Legal as the attorney and show you now Michelle's interaction with StoredIQ for Legal once this email is received. So again, Michelle receives the email, clicks the button, goes into StoredIQ for Legal, and sees the entire notice again, indicates that she understands her obligation and confirms that she will meet that obligation. And that's it. That's all she has to do. So let's log out of StoredIQ for Legal as Michelle and put back on our legal hat and see how it is that the legal team can track Michelle's response. Okay, so if we come back into the matters, here's our Adrian Plaintiff versus ABC Company matter that we're working in. Right away from the dashboard, I can see that that one response has been received, or something has been received, because I have a blue piece filled into my custodian circle. By clicking the name of the matter and drilling in, I can see that a response came from the initial hold notice, which was sent to 3 custodians originally. Again, if I click the name of the notice and drill into the notice itself, right here, it's Michelle who confirmed. She confirmed on 10/20/2016, and I can see here even a visual graph. The graph gets more interesting the more people who respond to the notice, but much easier than manual tracking of responses in a spreadsheet fashion. If needed, you certainly can click here as a legal person and add notes, any note that you might want to add as a reminder to yourself or somebody else about the fact that Michelle has responded. I can also from here see the message that was actually sent to those custodians, the rules that were used first of all, and the content that was sent to them. So a nice summary of the notice and a nice way and an easy way of automatically tracking who has responded and confirmed. I'm going to get out of that screen and let's move to the second feature of matters, and that is interviews and the ability to send an interview to your custodians via an email message. Again, to create a new interview, you would just simply click the new interview button, give it a name, and choose create. Again, built from a template. This interview message going out to the custodians is built from a template, making it very quick to, again, set up rules, very similar to the notice rules, and providing the content of the email body that the custodian will receive. Typically, the email body lets them know that they are about to answer interview questions associated with a particular matter. From the template, I inherited the questions, which again makes it very quick, easy, and then also consistent to send these interviews. Want to just take a moment here and review the kinds of questions that are available through the application. This first question is an example of radio button answers. So the question is, do you have data relevant to this matter saved on your local PC or laptop? We're giving the custodian the ability to answer yes or no with radio buttons. The next question here is also radio button selections, but let's just take a moment and look at other options that we have besides a radio button selection. They can do drop downs with choices available to them. We can create questions with checkboxes, single line free text entries, and paragraph text entries. Those are the 5 different question types that can be presented to your custodians through this automated interview. The third question here that I inherited from this particular template asks a question. Do you know others who may have information relevant to this matter? Yes or no. One of the differences with this particular question is that if the custodian were to answer yes, we can set up a corresponding question. If the answer is yes, I'm going to give them yet one more question where they can tell me the names of the custodians or names of the people they feel might have additional information. And you can see here that this question is a single line text entry, and they can type in their answers right here. If I needed to, I could add additional questions to those I inherited from the template, but as you can probably see here, inheriting the questions from a template is a quick, consistent way to create these interview notices. And then lastly, I just select the recipients to whom the questionnaire should be delivered. Again, review them. Make sure that the email addresses are as expected. Provide a reason. And then simply publish. And that interview now goes out to the 3 custodians that were chosen. Again, to save a little bit of time, during the webinar, I already sent out an interview questionnaire to our 3 custodians. You can see it right here. Currently, none of them have responded. Tells me that their status is pending. So let's change hats again and make ourselves the custodian. And as the Michelle Grassi custodian, I received the email questionnaire showing me the information that was part of the notice body with a link to review the questionnaire. I'm going to click View Questionnaire. Oh, hang on a second. There we go. I've got to sign out as my legal person. This is the quirkiness of trying to be multiple people on the same machine. All right, one more time, smoothly. I click View the Questionnaire button as Michelle, the custodian. There we go. I can sign in as Michelle. It presents to me the message. I'll take the questionnaire. Do you have data relevant to the matter? I'll say no. Do you have information relevant to this matter on your cell phone? I'll say no. Do you know others who may have information relevant to the matter? Yes. Notice that additional question appears because I answered yes. In the text box below, please list these people. I'll list Kristen, click Submit, and I just answered the questions that needed answered, and my answers will now be part of the matter, tracked by the legal team. One more time, let's take off our custodian hat, put back on our legal hat, and let's see from within the matter. How that information is tracked. So again, drill into the matter, drill into the interviews. Here's the particular interview Michelle responded to. Notice it lets me know Michelle responded, the date she responded, and if I want to see her particular answers, I can go to the Results tab, and I can see results by question. I can also see results by recipient. So I've chosen Michelle as the recipient. These are her answers. So easily tracked from right within the application. Again, no need for those manual spreadsheets to track responses. And lastly, let's take a look at the third feature, giving the legal team the ability to communicate efficiently with the IT staff and how to create a data box. Again, just to save a little bit of time, a data box has already been created. Basically, when I say a data box has been created, what I mean is I have created a notice within StoredIQ for Legal. And that notice contains the information that I want to share with the IT department regarding the data that I think may be relevant to my matter. What I'm asking the IT folks to do here is I want them to do a search of the content repository. I want them to do a search of file shares, for example. In their search, this is the date range that they should use. January 1st, 2012 through July 28th, 2016. As they're searching the content repository and file shares, I want them to search for Word documents, presentation files, and spreadsheets. I could also provide search terms if needed. So I might, have specific search criteria to use in addition to the data types. And I could have certainly entered those search terms here, and that information would have been communicated to the IT team. On the Custodians tab, this is where I identify to the IT team the folks whose data I would like them to search. Once this has been sent, it goes to the IT person who had been identified for this particular matter. And you may remember that I chose the T Data Ops 2 person. Now the IT person is going to go into their StoredIQ interface, and they're going to see in their interface that a request has arrived. And I was afraid that that might happen, so we're going to do this. We're going to pop back over here, and this is an example of what the request looks like. You can see in the notes area where my search criteria was given to them. Here's the date range I wanted them to search. Here's the word processing, presentations, and spreadsheets that I asked them to search for. If I continue to scroll down here, all my other search criteria would be visible to the IT person. So I have effectively communicated exactly what data I want them to look for. The IT folks will use that StoredIQ tool, and they will create what is called an info set in StoredIQ. You can see here where an info set had been created. This IT person selects it, would click complete. Once they clicked complete, then their response, their complete response, comes back to me as a legal person. So I'm going back into my StoredIQ for Legal application, and I would see oops, sorry about that. I would see that information that they collected right here within my application. And it's showing me here 71 files that they found using StoredIQ that matched my search criteria. From the legal standpoint, I can scan these files, and I can then see the amount of data that I might be dealing with and a little bit of the information associated with each of those particular files that matched the search criteria. If this now was data that I wanted to export and analyze, I just simply use my Actions menu and ask that this be transitioned to an export box, and the IT person would receive the message from me as the legal person telling them to export the data. The data would be exported, and I could then bring it into whatever tool it is that I use for the actual analysis of the data content. I know we're very close to the end. Kristen, do we have questions?
Hi, Linda. We definitely do. I will say we have passed the 30-minute mark, so if anyone has to drop off, this will be available. It is being recorded, and if you'd like a link to it, just email me, and I will get that to you. We do have quite a few questions for you, Linda. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good. First question. Is it possible to set up a group of people and add the entire group to a notice at once? For example, as of right now, I have... Yes?
Oh, go ahead. Yes, it is. There is the concept in StoredIQ for Legal of a group, and you can create the group and add as many custodians as necessary, and whoever asked the question then was probably thinking, oh, when I create the notices, when I create the interviews, I don't have to add people, the same people, 2 separate times. I just add the group, and the notice and the interview goes out to that collection of people.
Awesome. Next question. Is it possible to delete old test matters that are not needed any longer?
So within StoredIQ for Legal, matters are not deleted. And typically the reason for that is because it's important to keep that information around for a particular period of time, but matters can be closed. And if matters are closed, there's a separate filtered view where you can see just those matters that are closed versus a filtered view for those matters that are currently open. There's also a view for all matters, okay, which it would be the combination of closed and opened, but we do have the ability to filter open matters from closed matters if necessary.
Awesome. Thanks, Linda. Next question. We have 2 more questions, guys. If you have any more questions in addition to this, feel free to write them now. I'll start with the next question. Do I need to buy a StoredIQ license for each custodian? Looks like the custodian needs to log in to confirm.
StoredIQ for Legal does not require that each custodian have a license. The licensing is done by I think it's called UVAs, and also the number of people who have been assigned a role. Typically that role is associated with a legal person or an IT person, someone who comes in and uses StoredIQ for Legal for things other than just replying to notices or just replying to interviews.
Okay, and last question. Is the enterprise directory used to identify all employees?
StoredIQ for Legal currently is integrated with your corporate LDAP directory. In most cases that's Active Directory, but it could be integrated with any corporate LDAP directory. I do believe that plans are on the roadmap for StoredIQ for Legal to integrate with corporate HR systems in the future.
We actually have another question for you, Linda.
Oh, all right, coming in hot and heavy.
Is there a select all feature when adding custodians to a notice from a group, or must each group member be added individually?
Well, if you add by a group, then each group member can come in. Now, if they are you asking, once I bring in everybody, can I remove someone? I don't know let's see here. Let's just create a new notice here. I've not tried that, I don't think.
The question is.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that right now. Say that again, Kristen.
The question is that you still must select each person's box to add them to the notice?
Yeah, if you're going to add them individually, yes, you still have to select each person's box separately. We do have a filter here where we could look for people. Let's try this though. Let's try adding a group, all custodians. Okay, so we would even if we have a group, we would have to select the boxes individually. Doesn't look like they gave us any kind of a convenient select all checkbox. Sorry about that.
One more question. Can a box be created with Optum to start a search of structured data?
Can a box be created with Optum to start a search of structured data? So the answer to that question is that through StoredIQ for legal, you can send a notice to your IT team to search structured data using Optum. However, that information would not necessarily be visible through the matter as we saw. Let me come back out here. As we saw the data box information being visible. You would be able to find out that the IT team has completed your request, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to see the data and look and scan through it.
Awesome, Linda. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's still on the line with us. A lot of you guys stuck through to hear the answers to these questions. So that lets us know that you really care about this subject. And thanks again to Linda for sharing her expertise on StoredIQ for legal.
There we
go. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact either of us. And make sure to fill out the survey. Once the webinar closes out, a little survey box will pop up. It's just 2 questions. We really appreciate your feedback. And yeah, we'll let you guys go. Linda, do you have anything else to say?
I just thank everybody for their attention today, and hope that you appreciate the fact that it was a live demo, and we got over a little hump here and there, and I look forward to any additional questions that you might have. Thank you.